back to Football Barbie, where I talk about anything and everything football. Let's talk to you about Week 16 NFL. Who has a chance to go to playoffs? Who could possibly be eliminated this week? And what are my predictions for the week? Let's get it started and talk to you about football.
Hold up, wait a minute. Y'all thought I was finished?
Week 16. There's only 3 games left of the season. 16, 17, and 18. What a crazy year it has been for the backup quarterbacks. Roughly 75% of the NFL has been reported to choosing a backup quarterback to play. From Jake Browning to the Bengals to Josh Jacobs, who was on Arizona and then traded to the Vikings, which he did so well for them, along with welcoming back Joe Flacco. Crazy. I remember when he played for the Ravens and first started as a rookie. What a year has been for picking teams to win with all these things and all of the injuries. It's been so difficult. I'm sure a lot of people know, the more the injuries go, it's so hard, and you don't know how these backup quarterbacks are going to do. Some of the backup quarterbacks are doing way, way, way better, than the original quarterback. So who knows? As for the NFC, I want to talk to you about the playoffs, because playoffs are my favorite time of the year for football. As for the NFC, 3 teams have obviously already clinched the playoffs, being the San Francisco 49ers, the Dallas Cowboys, and the Eagles. The Lions are the only team that can possibly clinch the playoffs this weekend for the NFC if they win by winning with a spot over the Vikings. They will clinch their division, which is what I predicted before the season starts. I kind of do want to do a video after the season's over, that, week going into the playoffs, about what I chose. If they don't win, though, against Minnesota, they can still clinch a playoff spot, the Lions, just not the division. So with a Seattle Seahawks loss to the tie to the Titans, the Lions are going to be in. They could have also gotten in if the Rams lost or tied with the Saints, but sorry, my video is out later than that, and I just picked the Rams to win, though, just saying. I'll talk about that, but the Rams winning destroyed that chance for them, that path. The Panthers and the Cardinals and the Commanders are already eliminated, as in, from the NFC. As for the AFC, the Patriots, Jets, and Titans have been eliminated already, so we'll talk about more everything. So let's start by talking to you about New Orleans, who is 7-8 now. They're not at the playoff spot yet, with divisional games remaining against the Bucs and the Falcons. I don't know what's really happening with the Falcons. I chose them to win, I think, this week, but I'm not really sure what's going on with them. They're at the Rams, they were at the Rams, I'm sorry. So the game already happened. 8-7 Thursday. So right now the Rams have a wild card spot. It's just been very difficult. Does anybody prefer the live videos or videos like this when I'm trying to do the predictions? Does anybody really care? Because that's why I can't get them out on a certain day, because sometimes I'm just not home. As for Derek Carr, he played even though he was hurt. I'm kind of wondering, is it because he's concerned that James Winston is going to take his quarterback spot? After what I thought would be a great year, and I thought the Saints for sure were going to win the division, now I'm not so sure. Therefore, I felt like the Rams they're the ones who had more fight left in them, and that's why I chose them to win. The Saints did try to rally at the end of the game. I did watch a game Thursday night, so the Saints did try to rally, but they just really couldn't pull it off. So I chose Rams. As for Cincinnati at Pittsburgh, so Pittsburgh is on the outside looking in at 7-7. Their loss to the Colts really put them out of that playoff position. I really don't know if there's just a lot of these people would have way too many possibilities for people to win, lose, tie, this and that. And I think that the Steelers are going to be one of those. So, I thought that they could possibly get a wild card spot. I did not think that the Ravens were going to do so well this year. I did not see the Ravens clinching their title, because I thought the Bengals were for sure going to be better, and I was wrong. So, that's kind of how it goes. As for the Bengals, their win conference record, they're 8-6, has a tiebreaker over the Bills and a head-to-head tiebreaker over the Texans, which is our wild card currently. I do have a feeling now that Pittsburgh just has a better chance to win. If I'm going to be honest. I really do. I think Pittsburgh has the better chance to win here. I think it's going to be really tight. I just think that Pittsburgh has lost too much recently, and I don't want to go out that bad. Then we have the Buffalo at the Chargers. Okay. The Chargers are still technically alive for playoffs. However, a loss to the Bills will just end their season. If they lose this week, they're completely out. They have no chance of survival. In addition, a Jaguar win ends their season, no matter how the Chargers fare on Sunday. So the Chargers desperately need the Jaguars to lose, and they desperately need to win against Buffalo. But I don't necessarily see that happening. I'm going to go with Buffalo here. Beyond that, though, there are 60, apparently, scenarios where the Chargers can be eliminated. So when you have that many chances against you, you're basically going to be out. Regardless of the result in their game against the Bills, if you want to see, what's going to happen, just pay attention. I'm going to try to do a little bit better coverage of the playoffs and try to pay more attention to the playoff games because the playoffs are for sure my absolute favorite. But for the Bills, they're 8-6 right now. They are probably one of the best 7 teams in that conference, but that doesn't mean they're necessarily going to be able to get in the playoffs. The season's been really tough. Miami has stepped it up, and I am here for Team Miami. The Bills are just on the outside looking in. They would need this win in order to even have a hope of staying alive. As for the Chargers, like I said, they're 5-9. They started off the season actually doing okay, and it just really doesn't look like they're going to make it. As for the Colts at Atlanta is 6-8. A loss to the Panthers really hurt them. They're now on the outside looking in. They definitely 6-8. They could have been 7-8 right now, or 7-7, I guess. But what are you gonna do? I guess apparently like Bijan Robinson was held to like such few yards last week. Against the Panthers, a game was kind of an embarrassment to me. It was 9-7 was the total score. When you're in football and that's your score, it's embarrassing. Like, when the score is 3-0, for the Vikings versus the Raiders, or what was it, the Chargers shut out the Patriots 6-0, that's pretty bad. As for the Colts, they're wild cards with 8-6, win conference record tiebreaker over the Bills and a head-to-head tiebreaker over the Texans. I'm going to pick Atlanta here. Atlanta needs to seriously hustle themselves and try to win. Their division is going right now like neck to neck with what's happening. So we'll see if Atlanta even has a chance, but it all depends on their division. Green Bay at Carolina. The Packers are 6-8. Just when they had fought their way back to try to be into the playoffs, they lost to the Giants and the Bucs. Yeah, the Giants haven't been that great this year. The Bucs have been okay. So now they're on the outside looking in. The Panthers had surprised me the last week beating the Falcons. But what are you going to do? Good for them. They got a second win. Honestly, if I was them, I wouldn't want to keep winning. I would really try to rest your players. At this point, there's no reason for them to keep winning if you are 2-12. We're not sure though, apparently, if they're going to be able to give the Bears the first overall pick, the Panthers, with them having the 2-12. It did seem like the weather last week, though, helped the Panthers' defense destroy the Falcons' offense. The Packers don't look that great on offense either, but I feel like they're going to win as best as they can. If they want their playoff hopes to stay alive here, I think the Panthers' offense can't score. But the Packers will take a win, I think, late in the fourth quarter. So I'm going to take Green Bay here to win at Carolina. As for Cleveland at Houston, Cleveland is 9-5, and they have Joe Flacco. I think there's a chance that Joe Flacco could lead the Cleveland Browns to the playoffs. As for Houston, they're 8-6. They have a win conference tiebreaker over the Bills. I am going to pick Cleveland, though, for this game. Flacco ended up doing great for Cleveland last week, late in the fourth quarter, throwing for 212 yards. just in the fourth quarter alone. I think the Browns are for sure going to be able to pull away. The Texans are going to lose this one as they are not going to come away with a win here. It could end up being a close game though, depending on how Flacco really does play, but I do think the Browns have a chance to take it. So here's where it comes interesting. The Browns have a number of ways to clinch a playoff spot this weekend, all of which obviously it starts with a win against the Texans. Here are some of the possibilities. A Broncos loss or tie, a Colts loss or tie, a Bills loss, and a Dolphins loss or tie. Or a Steelers loss or tie, a Broncos loss or tie, a Colts win, and a Jaguars loss. Or a Steelers loss or tie, a Bronco loss or tie, Dolphins win or tie, a Bill loss. Or a Steelers loss or tie, a Broncos loss or tie, a Dolphins win or tie, and a Colts loss. Or a Steelers loss or tie, a Broncos loss or tie, a Dolphins win or tie, a Jaguars loss, or a Steelers loss, a Bills loss, a Dolphins win or tie, a Colts win, and a Jaguars win. Or a Steelers loss, a Bills loss, a Chiefs win, a Colts win, and a Jaguars loss. Yeah, I know that was probably a lot to follow. Or a Steelers tie, a Bills loss, a Colts win, or a Jaguar loss. But hey, I think that the Browns really do have a chance. I think they could get it in. Houston, I'm not really sure. I'm not really sure they have a chance. As for Detroit at Minnesota, like I said, I foresaw Detroit, who's now currently 10-4, which is way better than I thought they were going to be. I thought they were going to have like 8 or 9 wins to win their conference. Maybe actually I thought they would have close to 10. But I'll have to double check. I literally predicted everything, like how many wins each team was going to have before the season starts, if you haven't checked out all my previous videos. But we'll see. As for Minnesota, they're 7-7, their own conference record tiebreaker over Seattle. The Lions are this year so well crushing it. I thought they would be winning their division title much earlier now by this point in the season. However, everybody else is really trying to hang in there. However, as the season has been going on, they started looking like they were in a rough patch. Last Saturday, they showed they are still looking like their team to contend it with when they beat the Broncos last Saturday. Yeah. If God can really hold out and do well as quarterback with his weapons, St. Brown and Laporta, I think that they will crush the Vikings to appear and pick up the win on the road. The Lions are fighting for the divisional title win, as the Lions are desperately trying to make the Vikings are trying to desperately make the playoffs. If the Vikings are knocked out of the title contention in the North, then they have a chance to go, and it's going to be really hard for the Vikings to try to get into the playoffs. So I'm taking Detroit here. I think that Detroit, like I said, is going to do the win. As for Washington at the Jets, I think that somehow Zach Wilson is going to beat out Sam Howell. I don't think that either team really has been that great. Aaron Rodgers did say that he's not coming back for the season. It honestly would be pointless, as cool as it would be, even if he played a couple snaps, but God forbid that man only did 4 snaps and tore his Achilles. So, who knows? Aaron Rodgers said he's not going to play until his next season now. Like, this just doesn't make a point. The Jets' defense, though, for sure, is what has been helping them really win their games and carrying them all season. Like, the Jets' defense stopped my Eagles, and that's how we lost our first loss of the year. The Commanders have very little ability it seems, to slow down, like, opposing offenses. The Commanders are 4-10. They're already done, and the Jets have 5-9. They unfortunately are already eliminated as well. But I do see the Jets taking this win here at home against the Commanders. As for Seattle at Tennessee, so Seattle's 7-7 on the outside, but they do have 3 winnable games remaining, and they would have to for sure start and keep winning all of them, along with a lot of other people losing as well. As for Tennessee, like we said, they are out. I said obviously they are out already. Jacksonville at Tampa. Tampa. So I'm for sure taking the. I guess I'm taking the Titans though. I don't know. I did pick the Titans here to win. Damn. But the more I think about it, I'm like, I'm going to be surprised if they win. I mean, Seattle hasn't been playing that great. They did give us a loss to the Eagles. This is a tough one. Yeah, I'm not really sure here. Really not sure. Interesting. Yeah, I did say I'm taking Tennessee. I'm just going to stick with Tennessee. Even though Seattle really does need to win, Tennessee's already out. I'm going to stick with Tennessee. As for Jacksonville at Tampa Bay. So Tampa Bay, they're 7-7. They own the tiebreaker over the Saints for the NFC North. I'm for sure going to take the Bucs here. We will see because Trevor Lawrence is still in his concussion protocol, and the Jags have lost 3 straight to the AFC North. Jacksonville's defense is not that great lately. Not saying that the Bucs defense is much better by any means, but they seem to be having a much better pull-through rate of winning these games late. Baker Mayfield is still doing quite well for the Bucs when nobody thought how he's going to do coming into season from moving from a whole bunch of teams. As for the Jags, they're 8-6 and they own the head-to-head tiebreaker over the Colts and the Texans in the AFC South. Currently, they are the divisional leader, which I did say they would win their division for the year. The AFC South is a dogfight right now with the Jags. Colts and Texans are all tied at 8-6. Right now, the Jaguars are expected to come out on top. That's mostly because they'll likely win all the big tiebreakers at the end of the season. Not only did they sweep the Colts, but they're guaranteed to finish with a better division record than the Texans if they can beat the Titans in Week 18. The remaining schedule is the Bucs, the Panthers, and the Titans. So we'll see. I don't think they're going to win against the Bucs. I'm taking Tampa though here. The Bucs, like I said, they're 7-7. I'm just cheering for the Bucs. I mean, I don't know. I'm cheering for the Bucs here. They've been going after it the past 2 weeks. They had a big win over the Packers. Thanks to that win, the Bucs are now have a much higher chance of making the playoffs and of winning the NFC South, which is way ahead of the Saints. I think that they have a better chance at this point winning over the Saints. I thought for sure Derek Carr maybe could help the Saints, but I don't know, maybe not. I was wondering if he'd be the next Drew Brees for the Saints, and definitely not this season. For the Bucs, the remaining schedules are the Jaguars, Saints, and Panthers. So, I don't know. We'll see. As for Arizona at Chicago, now we already know that Arizona at 3-11 is completely out. Okay, we don't have to worry about them. However, I cannot believe that the fact that the Chicago Bears still have a fighting chance to make the playoffs. The Chicago Bears are possibly playoffs this week, but I really doubt that's going to happen. If they lose to Arizona, they're for sure eliminated. Losing this week will for sure knock them out. They would need a Seahawks winner tie against the Titans and a Vikings winner tie against the Lions, or a Seahawks winner tie or a Packers winner tie against the Panthers, or a Seahawks winner tie and a Bucs winner tie against the Jags, or a Bucs winner tie and a Vikings winner tie, or a Bucs winner tie and a Packers winner tie, or this is just to keep going and to have a chance to keep going. A Bucs winner tie and a Giants win against the Eagles. These are the main ways for sure. So let's see what happens. I am picking Chicago this week. I think they have a lot more to fight for. If I was Arizona and you're 3-11, I would just rest your players. If you are so bad and you have no chance to make the playoffs, you might as well honestly just rest. Just try, but don't do it too hard. As for Dallas at Miami. So Dallas is 10-4, and so is Miami. I am for sure a team like Miami. I just said here. Literally, though, the AFC East, as I figured, was going to be that, well, I thought the Jets would have a better chance with Aaron Rodgers, but that obviously went down south. I for sure thought that the Bills and the Miami Dolphins were going to be neck and neck for the AFC East. I do see Miami winning that divisional title, but it's a good chance that it could come down to the last game of Miami versus the Bills, which is going to be a phenomenal. If Miami can't squeeze in beforehand, I really for sure want to watch that game. As for Dallas, has already clinched a playoff spot, but they're not the division yet. Thank goodness. I'm really keeping my fingers crossed that the Eagles can win the next 3 effing games and Dallas can lose at least 1. Plus we have an easier schedule at the end. So they do own the tiebreaker though currently over the Eagles and the Lions. If Miami wins on Sunday, which I think they will, then they are in the playoffs. And 5 ways to also win with a tie against Dallas. The Jacksonville Jaguars lose to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, or the Bengals lose, or the the Bengals lose or tie to the Steelers, and the Colts lose or tie to the Falcons, or the Bengals lose or tie, and the Houston Texans lose or tie to the Cleveland Browns, or the Texans lose and the Colts lose, or the Browns lose and the Colts lose or tie. So Miami can clinch the AFC East this week with a win and a Buffalo Bills loss or tie against the Chargers. I for sure see the Bills winning, and I for sure see Miami. I'm taking Miami to win here. I'm keeping my fingers crossed they kick Dallas's. They could also clinch the division with a tie against Dallas, but only if the Bills lose to the Chargers. We'll see. As for New England and Denver, New England just rested up. 3-11. You're 3-11, you're out, you're done. As for Denver, they're fighting. They are on the outside looking in, but the loss to the Lions about killed them with all their chances. I'm taking Denver here. New England, I don't know, Bill Belichick has a job after this season with the Patriots. This is the worst year apparently they have ever had since I think he first started. We're just taking Denver. We're just gonna take Denver here. They need a lot of things to happen for them to advance. As for the Jags not the Jags, but as for Las Vegas, who is 6-8 at the Kansas City Chiefs, currently leading the NFC West with 9-5. Now the Chiefs, I didn't think they were gonna have 5 losses this season. I'm a little it's good news for me. I mean, I didn't think they were gonna have 5 losses. So what was it me? And I was there. The Chiefs can lock up the AFC West on a playoff spot depending on a few things this weekend. So I think they do have a chance. A win against the Raiders would clinch the division for them. Yeah, they're for sure probably gonna. If they don't beat the Raiders, I'm gonna be really surprised. Now the Raiders haven't been doing better since under their new interim coach, but hey, you never know. They can get in though with a tie to the Raiders if the Broncos lose to the Patriots on Xmas Eve. I'd be really surprised if the Broncos lose, and so I think they're just gonna win the division. I really think that they're gonna be able to beat the Raiders. But we already know that the Raiders are eliminated from the playoffs with a loss to the Chiefs on Christmas Day. However, they can also be eliminated if they tie the Chiefs or the following scenarios: the Bengals win or a Bills win, or the Bengals win and the Bills win. So that looks like that's going to happen. A Bengals win, a Jaguars win, a Colts win, or a tie. I don't think the Jags are going to win. A Bengals win, a Jaguars win, and a Texans win. So no, probably not. A Bengals win, a Colts win, and a Texans win. A Bengals win, a Jaguars win, and a Colts win or tie. A Bills win, a Jaguars win, and a Texans win or tie. A Bills win, a Colts win, and a Texans win. Or a Jaguars win, a Colts win, and a Texans win. I just think the Chiefs are going to get in, and the Raiders are probably going to be eliminated this weekend. It's going to be interesting. There's more people going to be eliminated. As for the Giants at Philly, Philadelphia, we're 10-4. We're currently a wild card. Damn it, damn Dallas. Stupid. There are apparently 43 different ways the Giants can be eliminated if they lose to the Eagles on Christmas Day. I think the Giants are just going to be eliminated. Let's just go with that. They are currently 5-9, and they are most likely out. I am choosing Philly here at home. I almost debated on going to this game, but Mom and I are going to the movies. This is my Christmas party dress for today. My girlfriends have holiday parties, and I'm going to be there. And then the last game of the season the season of the week is going to be, I can't wait to see, everyone's talking about how it could possibly be a prequel to the Super Bowl, is the Baltimore at the 49ers. The 49ers, obviously we already know, clinched the NFC West 11-3. But if the 49ers, I think they're going to win this weekend against the Ravens. I think it's going to be extremely tough. But the 49ers can clinch home field advantage for the playoffs this weekend if they beat the Ravens on Christmas night, which I think they will. However, they would need the Eagles to lose to the Giants, the Cowboys to lose to the Dolphins, and the Lions to lose to the Vikings. I don't see all 3 of those teams losing. I think that the Eagles for sure win, and I think that the Lions are going to win. So I don't want the 49ers to clinch their home field playoffs. I would much obviously rather do that. I don't know if the Eagles really do have a chance to become the number 1 seed again. We blew it. Especially with the loss to Seattle. We for sure blew it. As for the AFC, the Ravens became the first AFC team to clinch a playoff spot last weekend. They can clinch the division with a win to the 49ers, coupled with the Browns' loss or tie to the Texans. So I for sure see the Browns winning, and I think the 49ers really could have this game. I think it's going to be close, though. I really do. I think Lamar Jackson's been playing great. 49ers are just on a roll. of course, again, as another season in a row. They can also clinch the division with a winner tie with 49ers, only with the Browns losing, though, to the Texans. And I don't see that happening. The Ravens are 11-3. And, yeah, taking the 49ers. So let's go in. Please talk. Please let me know in the comments below. I still do have a couple items, like Raiders, Steelers, things like that. So message me, comment, tell me who you're predicting, say something, and I will be picking people to win. At the end of the season, I'm going to go back, people are going to tell me, and I'm just going to say, hey, you won something for your team. Thank you guys so much. I love you all. Ta-ta for now.